There's this assumption that our real-world lives transcends into our online identities. We assume that when everyone is watching, the right thing will eventually happen. Someone's going to step in, someone's going to leave the right kind of comment, a moderator is waiting in the wings, ready to shadow ban. Because after all, crowds are meant to correct themselves. But here, in the wild, wild west of online life, crowds behave very differently. In 2013, during the aftermath of the Boston Marathon bombing, something strange began to unfold online. While police were still searching for suspects, tens of thousands of people gathered on forums such as Reddit and became overnight detectives. They analysed photos, zooming in on various different faces, and publicly speculated about who might be responsible. And many users could see this danger. Some even said so. But do you know what? Most people stayed quiet. Which is surprising, and I'm sure you're aware of the docuseries You Don't Fuck With Cats. It was very famous on Netflix, where a group of online individuals went after this killer, found him, and brought him to justice. But in this instance, as the crowd grew, the responsibility began to thin. People assumed moderators would intervene, that authorities would correct the record, that someone else would stop it before it went too far. And the truth is, nobody did. An innocent man was wrongly identified, his name spread across the internet, and his family learnt about it all because of the online abuse through social media. The harm wasn't caused by a single bad actor, it was caused by thousands of people watching, hesitating, and waiting for someone else to act, while the mob itself, an online mass of self-proclaimed detectives, completely destroyed an innocent man's life. Now what stands here might sound like bad intent, but what really is at play is how cautious people became. Most of those involved weren't trying to cause harm, they were paying attention, they could see the risk, they understood the stakes. And because they were surrounded by so many, we're talking thousands here, it felt heavier to intervene. And that's because when responsibility is shared, it also feels distant. Because each person, everyone, all of us, we always feel that there's someone else better placed to act. Someone closer, someone louder, someone with some kind of authority. They're going to step in at any minute. Just wait, just you wait, they'll step in at any minute. Just you wait, here they come, they'll step in at any minute. So when you're waiting, that feels responsible. The internet, in all its glory and chaos, has changed how courage works. It's easy for us to look at the internet and think that it's packed with other people's opinions. But do you know what? It really isn't. What it's packed with and what we get filtered is the popular opinion of the moment. Filtered through, moulded, and changed over time by those with the loudest voices. And that, sadly, is mob mentality in action. In large online spaces, your silence to a judgment, an ideal, or a political policy feels safer than speaking out for it or against it. This isn't because you or anyone else being silent doesn't care. Of course not. We all care to some degree. It is because if you say anything, the fear of repercussions is heavy and feels more real than ever. So what happens next? Well, the crowd watches on. And that moment, it stretches on way beyond any form of control. Large digital spaces create a strange emotional atmosphere because you're surrounded by people and yet you feel totally alone. You can see everything happening, yet you have absolutely no idea where you fit in. You sense that something is off. You wait for a signal. You look for someone to move first. And do you know what? When no one does, doing nothing feels totally normal. Psychologically, three forces tend to show up together. First, there's diffusion of responsibility. When many people are present, personal responsibility spreads thin. Each individual feels less urgency to act. Second, there's social risk aversion. Intervening publicly carries reputational risk. People worry about being wrong, misleading the situation, or becoming the next target. Third, there's social proof. We look to others to decide what's appropriate. When silence dominates, silence feels correct. Taken together, these forces make hesitation feel like the safest choice. Uncertainty increases, and the risks of acting alone become more visible. This is Hard Clarity. My name is Rob Bradley. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, click that bell, whatever it is. And yeah, hopefully if you enjoyed this content, we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and leave a comment as well. Ta-ta for now.